Welcome into Seahawks Today, powered by Chat Sports. Tyler Jones here with you. Today's show is presented by Manscaped. Got a great deal that we're going to tell you about later on in the show. Go to manscaped.com. Use the promo code Seahawks for 20% off. Breaking news, the Carolina Panthers have traded for Cleveland Browns quarterback Baker Mayfield, as he will not be joining the Seattle Seahawks. Mayfield was traded to Carolina for a conditional 2024 fifth-round pick. For weeks, we have been talking about speculation of if Mayfield would end up in Seattle, but instead, it looks like he'll join Matt Rule and company there in Charlotte. Here is the report from NFL Network's Ian Rapoport with the update this morning that a new quarterback in Carolina, the Panthers are acquiring former number one overall pick Baker Mayfield from the Browns for a 2024 conditional fifth-round pick, sources tell me and Tom Pelissero. Deal is pending a physical. All parties split the financials to make it happen. So the breakdown, 2024 is the pick that they will get from the Panthers, a conditional pick there from the fifth round. And the details when it comes to money, here's the latest from Mike Garafolo of the NFL Network. He reports the Browns will pay Baker Mayfield $10.5 million this season, which means they trimmed over $8 million in cash and salary cap space. The Panthers will pay Mayfield $5 million. Mayfield agreed to trim $3.5 million off his base salary. So Mayfield in on the deal as well to go to the Panthers. So I want to hear from you guys. What is your one-word reaction or pin comment today of the Seahawks not landing Baker Mayfield, of not getting a deal done and letting him go to the Carolina Panthers? I want to hear directly from you. Give me one word. I'll give you my word in here just a moment, but you're about to get an ad break. Take advantage of it while the ad's playing. Tell me what your one word is for the Seahawks not getting the former Cleveland Browns quarterback. For me, I'm disappointed. That's my one word. I was really wanting to see Baker Mayfield end up with the Seattle Seahawks. And when you see how this all worked out, of giving up a fifth-round pick next year, a conditional fifth-round pick, and the fact that the Panthers only have to pay Mayfield $5 million, if you're the Seahawks, what did you have to lose? You're telling me that you could not give up $5 million in a fifth-round pick next year to land a former number one overall pick, and you have a clear quarterback need. You look at the quarterback room right now. Geno Smith is your quarterback number one at the moment. He's getting first-team reps. Drew Lock there and Jacob Eason. Really? You can't spend $5 million to have Baker Mayfield come in and compete with these guys? It makes no sense to me. Look, I would have loved to seen him there. I think that there's still a lot of potential for Baker Mayfield, that his best football is still ahead of him at this point, and he's clearly better than anyone on the Seahawks roster at the quarterback position. I'm very disappointed in this decision by Pete Carroll and John Schneider that they would not pull the trigger and bring in Baker Mayfield. As you can see, it would not have cost them a whole lot to get a deal done. Today's show is presented by Manscaped, and we're offering a great deal, the Performance Package. Normally you can see $121.94. Instead, we're going to offer it to you for $95.99. That's 20% off plus free shipping if you go to manscaped.com and use the promo code Seahawks at checkout. You know, we've had some great presidents over the years, whether it was Washington or Adams or Lincoln, but I got to tell you, you don't want to have a Bush. That's for sure. And Manscaped's going to take care of that for you with the Performance Package, part of their Got Bush campaign at Manscaped. 20% off now, plus free shipping at manscaped.com with the promo code Seahawks. 20% off. It is a great deal that we're offering just for viewers of Seahawks Today. Get yours now while supplies last with the promo code Seahawks at checkout. So here is the accomplishments for Baker Mayfield in his career, what he was able to do in Cleveland. He revived the Browns franchise, set the rookie passing touchdown record with 27 touchdowns in his first season in Cleveland, won the Offensive Rookie of the Year award from Pro Football Focus and Pro Football Talk, And then he led the Browns to their first playoff win since 1994, defeating their division rival Pittsburgh Steelers on the road. It feels like that Baker Mayfield gets taken for granted, that he's always played with a chip on his shoulder. A former two-time walk-on at Texas Tech and Oklahoma, went on to win the Heisman Trophy, was told he was undersized, and then turned that into being the number one pick and rookie of the year. I bet you that when he goes to Carolina, taking this pay cut, not getting the full salary that he would have commanded, going somewhere else, he is going to play with a bit of an edge. And we've seen throughout Baker Mayfield's career that when he has something extra to play for, when he has something to prove, he's pretty dang good. And to me, that's where I worry where the Seahawks missed out on here is Baker Mayfield could have been something special, I think, this year. Now, you're dealt with Drew Lock and Geno Smith. So, let me ask you guys, if you had to pick a quarterback, who's your guy? It's not going to be Baker Mayfield, but it appears like it will be one of these two guys, Drew Lock or Geno Smith right now. We've heard that the coaching staff likes both these guys. Geno Smith knows the system. Drew Lock was acquired in the Russell Wilson trade. And Pete Carroll has said before that he feels like Drew Lock was better than any quarterback in this past year's draft class. So let me know. Pick a quarterback. Type DL for Drew Lock. Type GS for Geno Smith. That's DL for Drew Lock or GS for Geno Smith. And when the Seahawks name a starting quarterback, we'll cover it right here on Seahawks Today like no one else will. We're covering this team. We're bringing you the breaking news as it happens, even if I am disappointed that the Seahawks are not turning to Baker Mayfield. We will cover everything when it comes to this team like no one else. Subscribe now, youtube.com/Seahawks TV. Turn on those notifications as well. That's youtube.com/Seahawks TV. So to compare, if you're curious what these Seahawks are missing out on, here's the numbers comparing Mayfield to Drew Lock. As you can see, Mayfield, better completion percentage, better yards per game, more touchdowns, and his record also better than Drew Lock as well. Compared to Geno Smith, better completion percentage, better yards, touchdowns, and the record also better than Geno Smith on that front. So you can see what the Seahawks are missing out on here. And throughout 4 years, I know things have been up and down for Baker Mayfield. That really good rookie year followed by a disappointing sophomore year. Third season was good for Baker Mayfield, but then last year playing with that shoulder injury throughout the season, he just was not the same guy. Now, he comes to Carolina, and he'll be competing with Sam Darnold. You'd have to think Baker will be the starter. But both these guys were actually picked in the same draft class, if you recall. Both of them were candidates to be the number one pick that year. But so far, what we've seen throughout their careers, Mayfield has been much better than Sam Darnold, and Matt Rule gets another shot at a new quarterback there with this Carolina Panthers team. So very fascinating to see how things end up for Baker Mayfield there. Now, you may be asking yourself, who are some possible quarterback options now for the Seahawks if they don't go with Drew Lock or Geno Smith? Well, Sam Darnold. I don't know if the Panthers are going to hang on to Sam Darnold much longer. And I can't imagine that he would cost too much on the trade market either. So maybe if you're interested in Darnold, we know that Pete Carroll has said some nice things about Sam Darnold in the past. That could be an option. Jimmy Garoppolo is likely to be a free agent soon. He will cost the 49ers just $1 million if they cut him before week 1. He's coming off off-season surgery. He could be an option. He'd be better than both quarterbacks you have. Cam Newton is still available right now. Cam Newton looking for a new home at this point in time. He's been an MVP before, although we haven't seen him play at a high level in a long time. He could be another option, a good veteran. And then maybe Ryan Fitzpatrick. I know that he's retired and he's going to be doing TV for Amazon, but Ryan Fitzpatrick has been the definition of a journeyman quarterback in this league, and he's had success at times. Maybe he is the perfect stopgap quarterback for this year. So who knows? Do you think the Seahawks are going to add another quarterback this year, or are they going to stay with Geno Smith and Drew Lock? Let me know in the comments section below, one way or the other. Y for yes, in for no, if the Seahawks are going to add another quarterback or not. Now, I say all this to say, even if they go ahead and add another quarterback with the options that are available, and when you look at this quarterback room right now, you have to add a quarterback in next year's draft. I think we all have a suspicion that the Seahawks are going to have a high first-round pick next year, whether it's their pick or Denver's pick in that first round, and you got to take a quarterback. C.J. Stroud, Bryce Young, I encourage you, clear out your schedules on Saturdays this fall and be watching a lot of Ohio State and Alabama football, because you're going to want one of those two quarterbacks to be the next face of this franchise in the foreseeable future. Whoever is the starting quarterback this year for the Seahawks, whether it's Drew Lock, Geno Smith, or one of those other names we mentioned, that's a stopgap quarterback. You have to go get a first-round franchise talent in next year's draft. And I'm sure we're going to have plenty to talk about. You may have more questions to ask me. Well, there's a place to do that. It's our Seahawks mailbag. I think it's going to be a pretty entertaining mailbag later this week. So get your questions in now. We're taking them over on our community tab, and we'll answer the best of the best. It's guaranteed to entertain. I can tell you that much right now. You have to be a subscriber, though, to be a part of that mailbag show. YouTube.com/SeahawksTV to subscribe today. That's YouTube.com/SeahawksTV. Thanks for joining us.